right, brother. Very kind words, and I mean to tell you, Carm Leonard, that caught me off guard. Ever since you put Brenda and I together, I mean this, my heart has never been empty. It's always been full. Now my wallet has been bone dry since I met her. You think Carm spends money? Brenda, they call her Spenda. All right, hey, look, this is what you get when you blow the entertainment budget on Carmy's dress. You end up with me. So get what you pay for. So, I'll do my best. All right, as Leonard said, I have known Leonard for almost 55 years. We were in a band for many years. My wife Brenda's been friends with Carmy for 40 years. The point of this is I know them very well, and I know stories that nobody else would ever know. And 10 years ago, in this very hall, the 120th birthday, I spoke at that. Now, I knew nothing about Trilogy. It was my first visit here. Didn't know any of you. My concern at that time was that Carm and Leonard are too young to be moving into a senior complex. Now, I owe all of you a little bit of an apology, because at that talk, I inadvertently referred to Trilogy as a old folks home. And I may have said nursing home, and someone told me I mentioned convalescent home. And I want to say I am sorry. Now, I've met some of you now, and you are some of the most fun-loving, wealthy, active seniors that have a very strange, loving habit of drinking alcohol. So we're the same people. The only difference, we have a lot in common, is I don't have the wealth. You know, but other than that, we're all good. Now, I mentioned the complex came across as a little bit of an old folks home, and they've done a lot of remodeling since there, so that's been handled. But there's still all a few lingering issues that may lead a first-time visitor to thinking this is an older community. For instance, I just got back from the bathroom. Beautiful remodel I did in 2017. Waved my hands under the soap. Little soap came out, beautiful. Under the faucet, out came the water. Went to the paper towels. Paper towels came out. Then I went to that big one in the corner. Fred, you know what I'm talking about. Waved my hands in front of that one. A pair of Depends came out. No, I'm not complaining. I put them on. I should have got a large, but hey, you know, I'm not complaining. That's some free stuff. Now, another thing that might indicate that is Carm and Leonard said, hey, let's go have a drink at Alice's kitchen before the event here. They said, great, let's go. So we're walking to the bar, and Leonard said, you know, Cary, they check everyone at the bar. I said, no problem, I've got my ID. And he goes, no, their blood pressure. Oh, okay. I go up to the bartender, I'm pretty good. I go 320 over 90, that's good, right? And I lean in and I say, I'm having a Bloody Mary. And she leaned back at me and goes, you're having a bloody heart attack. I go, that sounds delicious. Make it a double, and I do like them spicy. Now, one other big deal, and I'll talk to corporate about this. I'm Greek, Leonard's Greek, and I don't know if you know the word trilogy is actually a Greek word. I'll break it down to you. Teleo means old, literally. And leochi means as dirt, old as dirt. It's in the name, you know, I call him after I see him, but for God's sakes, now, let's keep moving. Let's get started, shall we? Look, he's handsome, he's talented, he's smart, he's a masterful musician, he has an impeccable short game, and I'm told, an absolute thoroughbred in the bedroom. But, no, we're not here to talk about me tonight, we're here to talk about the short-haired Greek guy, table number one, and his beautiful bride, Carm. Put it together for the birthday crowd. Woo! Now, I know some of you were at the last party I talked at, and for those of you who weren't, first of all, welcome to the A-list, Carmy's A-list. Now, and before you get too excited about the A-list, understand, the A stands for alive and awake. And this year they made a little adjustment. You only had to be 1 out of 2 to make the list. So, first of all, congratulations, but let's keep it real, shall we? I'm going to keep it real. Now, they were a little concerned that I know so much about them. They said, Cary, you know, maybe you ought to send us a list of topics and we'll send it back and cross out the ones that we don't think are right or some that are maybe not. And I said, that's fine, Carmen. You know, go ahead. I got my list. Did you bring yours? I said, okay, yeah, we'll do it. And then I go, Carmy being sweet goes, Cary, even if you say the wrong thing, people at Trilogy, they all pretty much have memory loss. I go, oh my God. And then I said to Carmy, I go, you realize that's the fifth time you told me that in the last 10 minutes. And she looked me straight in the eyes and said, told you what? And then I thought about it, going, I don't remember. So we're all in the same boat together. Let's have 15 minutes of fun, and in an hour we'll pretend it never happened. Deal? Now I mentioned Leonard was a short, hairy Greek guy. And you're going to probably ask, how hairy is he, right? Well, I'll tell you how. Leonard's so hairy that Bigfoot's been trying to get a picture of him for decades. Now, he is 71, and I'll be damned if a bald spot hasn't appeared in the back of his head. A lot of you don't notice it, because Leonard's a smart guy. He's learned to comb the hair that grows on his back over his shoulders onto the bald spot. Brilliant! Brilliant! And, he told you that they moved to Sacramento, his father opened up a shoe shop. He was a cobbler. And with all families, and Greek families in particular, the children helped the business. So I remember at about 12 years old, Leonard would get out of junior high, ride his bicycle 5 miles to his father's shoe shop, and go work for them for 30 hours a week. Now, he wasn't sweeping floors. He was doing leather punches, commercial sewing machines, and big buffing wheels, and people came in day and night looking at that, and they never complained to Leonard's father about child labor laws, child safety. And I think the problem was, at 12 years old, Leonard already had a beard and mustache and sideburns as big as the Elvis impersonator. I mean, the man was that hairy. On the other hand, like I say, I spoke here at the 120 10 years ago, and Carmy looked beautiful. And I got to tell you, Carmy has not aged a bit. Can we all just get Now, leave it to Carmy to discover the fountain of youth isn't a fountain at all. Apparently, it's a bottle of Chardonnay. And the way she's putting it down tonight, Leonard's going home with some jail bait. That's what I think. Now, Leonard's a great musician, but did you know in the 70s he was a bona fide rock star? Literally. I idolized him. He used to play in a small band at all the church functions, all the weddings, and I'd inspired for him to learn to play the drum, but he got too good, he got too big. He goes, I'm going on the road. Started the band. He changed his name to Chris Jensen, and his band was Spectrum, and they were big, and they sold out arenas all over the West Coast, and it was a big life. He was living a rock star life. I'm talking the women, the nightlife, the travel, the women, I mentioned the women? Okay, yeah, so. And it took a toll on him. After a few years, he had to come back to Sacramento. And he was honored me. He called me back, goes, Cary, I'm coming back and I'm going to start a band. Want you to be my drummer. Well, I couldn't have been more happy. He's my idol. I wanted to play in that band so bad. Matter of fact, that Monday I ran to my career counselor at high school, Miss Moorhead. And I said, Miss Moorhead, I said, forget that job you got lined up for me at that startup. I think it was called Apple. They were going to pay me stock. I go, no. I'm going to be in a band with my idol, Leonard. I'm going to be a rock star just like him. And she told me, she goes, Cary, mark my words. If you follow this man, Leonard, and try to be a musician and rock star, I promise you, you're going to end up broke, penniless, drunk and alcoholic. Boy, I wish I could see her today. I tell her, that was a lucky guess. I mean, how did she know? She knew. Now, I gotta be honest, I told you I was gonna keep it real, and none of this leaves the room. There was no stranger with all these girls. There was no stranger to the occasional threesome. I don't know to tell you. Now, Carmy knows, and she told me, she goes, Cary, we occasionally bring a third person into the bedroom to this day. And I said, you gotta be kidding. And she goes, well, not for hanky-panky. You see, when Leonard plays around the golf and drinks a couple Modelo's, those hips of his, they start to lock up. I can't get him out of bed by myself. And I told Leonard, when he was getting those hips, he goes, Cary, I'm getting my hips at Costco. I go, Leonard, don't go to Costco for hips. That's for toilet paper and paper towels. Because it's a great deal, and they're going to give me 2 rotisserie chickens. I said, rotisserie chickens? I don't know anything about rotisserie chickens, but when Leonard's hips lock up, he starts walking like a chicken. So, have you seen that walk? serious in her tone. I knew something was up. And she goes, Cary, I got some news. What's up? She goes, I'm donating all the organs. And oh my God, I was really moved. I got goosebumps. I'm getting them right now. And I just said, oh my God, two things ran through my heart. I said, Carmy, that is the most beautiful thing, to be an organ donor. And the second thing that came to mind is, what the hell are they going to do with Carmy's liver? Where do they make hockey pucks? I have no idea what a hockey puck made out of. But there it is. And then she goes, oh, no, Cary, not my organs, Leonard's organs. I go, do you know this? And she goes, Cary's not internal organs. I mean, it's pianos and keyboard. Those organs. She goes, that man's in 9 bands. He joins one more. I'm changing my name to Priscilla and going and running off with the Elvis impersonator. I said, easy, Priscilla. You're all shook up. Yeah. You can't talk about these two people without talking about those extravagant golf trips they go through. I mean, 7, 8, 9, 10 of those a year. They go all over the world. New Zealand and Australia, Spain, Hawaii, Colombia, Jesus Christ. I mean, they keep their travel agent very busy. And Leonard called me and he goes, Cary, I got a travel from the travel agent. He has another suggestion for us, golf trip to Epstein's Island. And Epstein's Island? And he goes, oh, don't worry. Carmy canceled it immediately. She knew that was a Pee-wee golf course. Too soon? Now, we blessed to blend our families. I spend Christmas and Thanksgivings with them, and I love those holidays, in particular Thanksgiving. Carmy's a great cook, puts on a beautiful feast. And typically I love that holiday also because that's when they reveal the following year's great, expensive, extravagant golf trips. And I love hearing it. I don't know what I like hearing more. Hearing about these expensive golf trips or looking at their 4 children's faces, realizing their future inheritance is taking yet another massive hit. And, hey, I could care less how much money they spend. You know, I'm not a beneficiary. Am I? But I am. They're selling you game golf and they're going to start playing pickleball. That's what you're playing. Now, I don't know if you remember this. On Leonard's 70th birthday, they had a little party going on planned. They get a call from us. Hey, Cary and Brenda, we're going to go do something special for Leonard's birthday. I said, God, I hope it's pizza and beer, please. Oh, no, not the Gazettas. They're top notch. They go, we're going on a cruise. I go, oh my God, oh, okay. And they want us to go with them. I'm touched. I go, well, give us the details. She goes, well, we're in a little bit of a hurry. See, we're going to the French Laundry with a bunch of Trilogy people for dinner. I said, the French Laundry? I don't know anything about the French Laundry. I go, I got 3 loads of Greek laundry sitting on the floor over here. I don't know anything about the French Laundry. And she goes, well, give me the basics. She goes, well, it's going to be $10,000. I said, $10,000? I go, are we purchasing the ship for him? She goes, no, it's just a 4-day trip to Mexico. I said, well, for 10 grand, I'm hoping that it includes all the alcohol I can drink because technically, and Brandon, you're my witness, I can drink $10,000 worth of liquor in 4 days. I've done it. And then technically, the trip is free, right? And she goes, no, alcohol is extra. Oh, Jesus, forget it. Can't go. I don't have Trilogy money. I have South Sacramento money. And there's a big difference between those two things. So we couldn't go. On the day they all set sail for their trip, instead of being sad or jealous, Brenda and I decided to say, you know what, we'll have a little bon voyage party for them of our own at home. So I got to Costco, got a nice box of wine, plugged in the VCR, grabbed my favorite romantic movie, put that movie in, cuddled up on the couch, and we toasted your voyage. Now, full disclosure, the movie we watched was the Titanic. I was so pissed off I couldn't go on that cruise. Yeah. Oh, and I felt guilty. That night I laid in bed and it gave me nightmares. I mean, and I felt so bad about that movie. So I said, you know what, I had that dream. And in that dream, what I call a nightmare, Carmy and Leonard were on the Titanic. And the boat had already gone down, and just like the movie's final scene, Carmy's floating on a bit of wreckage in the Atlantic. And just like in the movie where poor Leo DiCaprio floats away, there was Leonard shirtless in the icy Atlantic face down. But unlike in the movie where Leo passes, Carmy found the strength to reach into the Atlantic, grab Leonard by his back hair, and pull him up onto the wreckage. It was unbelievable. Once on the wreckage, Carmy was on the phone booking the next cruise to Cabo. The moral of the story is don't ever shave that back hair, my man. There's one person in this room I will not poke fun at because I have too much love and respect for her. That person who I love so much is Carmy's mother, Laverl. She's an absolute treasure. Woo! Now, if any of you have not met this young lady, spend the time to say hello to her. She's amazing. You almost had her as a neighbor. See, she tried to get into trilogy, but as you all know, you take that physical exam right before you get in, and she scored too high. I mean, and she snapped off 30 chin-ups. I knew she was out, but they did recommend that she go to the sister community called Trilogy, and that's just down the street, but typically that's reserved for Navy SEALs and retired MMA fighters. LaBelle runs the fitness program down there. No, but we all have a debt of gratitude for LaBelle because let me tell you, everything we know and love about this magnificent woman can be directly attributed to LaBelle. Now, I mean to tell you, like, for instance, her beauty, her intelligence, her grace. Well, Carmy sent me a note just to make sure I didn't forget anything. Her sense of humor, her generosity, her honesty, her courage, her strength, her sense of style, her smile, her awesome figure, her flowing hair, her luscious lips, her long legs. I'm not reading these last ones, she's right there. Yeah, so, again, and all of that is because of the way the girl loved, nurtured, cared for, and raised this magnificent woman. Now, one quick question, little girl. Where did she get all the bad habits? I don't know. Now, fellas in particular, we can't talk about Carmy's beauty without talking about that perfect pair. I mean, we got to keep it real. And I told you I was going to talk a little bit about it. I mean, perfectly rounded, firm, but they swing a little when she walks. And don't think we haven't noticed. You pierce them occasionally. Those are the most beautiful earlobes in all of Brentwood. What do you got, about a 3-carat dangling off them today? My God, those things are beautiful. Now, I talked a little bit about our financial differences between me and South Sacramento and Brentwood. For instance, I drive literally a 67-year-old Chevrolet with no air conditioning and hand crank windows. Carmy and Leonard pull up to my little neighborhood in this electric blue Tesla-looking spaceship. Have you seen it? It's the craziest thing. They pull up in my little neighborhood. The neighbors are going, who's that in the car? I can see them looking out their windows. And then Leonard presses the button, and the doors open up like a couple of bird wings. It's the craziest thing. Now they think the Jetsons are in town. And then to make things worse, first words out of Carmy's wife, out of her mouth is, take me to your leader. And but I knew what she meant. She meant leader of wine. And I already had it on the table with the cap already screwed off. Oh yeah. Now, I know I've been teasing anybody about wine consumption. We're all having, and I love wine too. In fact, you remember I was at the pool back in July? Yeah, probably not. But I was walking around the pool and I could see a couple ladies were checking me out, and that's nothing new. I'm a drummer, I know it, And next thing you know, they start chatting me up, and the one gal says to me in my smooth, she goes, wow, you must really love wine. I said, in fact, I do. How could you tell? She goes, well, that beautiful tattoo of that Zinfandel grapevine going up the back of your leg. And then the other lady swam up, and she goes, wow, yeah, you're right. And boy, those colored purples are so spot on. And those grape clusters are almost three-dimensional. So I gave them a wink and a nod and kept going. I didn't want to tell them they were looking at my varicose veins. I'm almost done. Thank you for your patience. Show of hands. How many of you got to consult with your financial planner when you go out to dinner with these two? Jesus Christ. I don't got that kind of money. Come in there, we're going out to dinner. Let's get a go. All right, we go. I'm already stressing out. We go first at sign cloth tablecloths. I'm already sweating. Then Carmy, of course, says, well, should we get some appetizers and crab cakes? And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know, you think I should have health care next month? But go ahead, order the crab cake, Carmy. We get through the entree, and oh my God, I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm out of the woods, but oh no. She utters those 6 deadly words. Billy You know what I'm talking about. You know, may I see the wine list? Oh, shit, there goes the budget. Oh, yeah. I look over at my wife. As soon as she says that, she's on her phone making me an appointment at the blood bank so I can show some plasma so I can keep the lights on and the photos out. Yeah. Oh, it's awful. We took him out for a nice dinner for their birthday, and I told him, hey, our treat, we'll go anywhere you want to go. We'll go to a super nice restaurant in Napa. God darn it, Carmy didn't own a $600 bottle of wine. Oh, not only did I have to sell my plasma, I had to sell my bone marrow. Bone marrow, Fred. I know you thought that hurt. Now, I did get good money for my bone marrow. I went to a broker. Maybe you heard of it, Merrill Lynch. And after that delicious meal, I couldn't even finish it. You remember how good the film was? And the bread rolls, fantastic. So, I couldn't finish it. I said, hey, wait, can you box mine up? And throw me another dinner roll in there too, because they're so delicious. They go, no problem at all. So we're ready to leave the restaurant, and I walk, and lo and behold, I see an elderly woman leaning against the street pole. You remember? And she looked hungry, and I thought to myself, this is one of those, what would Jesus do? And I know what Cary wanted to do. He wanted to take that shit home and eat it for lunch the next day. Oh no, I went ahead and I walked up to that lady, and I gave her my food. And she didn't say a word, but it was a magical moment. I got goosebumps. I'm getting them right now. No, I think it's the rash that's spreading. The rash is spreading. And we looked eye to eye. That woman and me, and I go, I know her from somewhere. Who is this poor woman down on her luck? And I realized it was Miss Moorhead, my high school career counselor. I was so thrilled. She was penniless and broke and a drunken alcoholic like me. It was sweet revenge. Oh, I was so happy. But it was short-lived because moments later, this big, beautiful, brand new Mercedes-Benz sitting around the corner, parked in front of the restaurant. And the valet came out and threw the keys to Miss Moorhead. She caught him with her right hand. She took my food with her left hand, and she got in that damn Mercedes and drove by, and I was crushed. I didn't say a word, but she drove by really slowly, and as she passed us, she rolled down her window, and I saw her. She was eating my dinner roll. I was furious. And then she said, I warned you, Cary. I warned you about that man, Leonard. I got one more, I'll wrap it up. Leonard inspired me to be a drummer. Leonard inspired me to golf. Leonard is an inspiration to everyone. We know that. It's a great quality. He took me to Guthrie Bay the other day to go golfing, and I'll be damned if I wasn't having the best round of my life. I'll put it in perspective. If I eagle the last 4 holes, I break 150 for the first time ever. I am focused. Now, I'm on the 14th hole, and I got a 3-foot putt for triple bogey, and I need this putt big time. I line it up. Just about when I'm ready to hit, I hear this god-awful creaking, squeaking, grinding sound, and I thought a train derailed. I went, what's that noise? I looked over, it was just Leonard bending down to Marcus Bobbitt's hip. We're locking up. We're locking up. I warned you. I don't think you're a golfer, Leonard. He carries a little flask inside his golf bag. He calls it birdie juice. My suggestion to you is you switch that out for a can of WD-40, my man. You're running out of it. My man's got more steel shafts in his hips than he does in the damn golf bag. I'm telling you, it's like I'm golfing with the Tin Man. The Tin Man. Leonard can't be the Tin Man, because if you remember the story of Wizard of Oz, the Tin Man had no heart. And Carmy and Leonard have 2 of the biggest hearts that any human beings could possibly have. Is that right? Can we love them for that? I mean, my God, it's true. And I'll close like this on a serious note. Carmy and Leonard, on behalf of my family, everyone here, all your Trilogy family, we want to wish you a happy, healthy birthday. You guys have a beautiful life together. You have your health. You have your family. You live in a gorgeous community with amazing Trilogy friends. But we all know life's not fair, and things can get hard sometimes. Things can go bad. And I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, if anything ever to go wrong, anything ever gets hard, you know who you can call. And I mean day or night. You call Laverle. Because I'll be on the